Steve, you mentioned single-digit scoring. Speaking of which, the Michigan defensive line basically saved Jim Harbaugh in the season, at least for another week. I watched every play of that game against Iowa, and the Michigan offense continues to be a mess. It was supposed to be this explosive, dynamic offense, but every facet of the offense is just deplorable. But the defensive line just completely overwhelmed Iowa's offensive line. Nathan Stanley had no time. He was under siege from snap number one, and the Michigan defense survives 10-3. In regards to, I would love to get your take. We'll start there before we march through the schedule in the two big games this week. Your thoughts on the Wolverines?
Well, I watched the first half, and obviously Ohio State was playing at 7:30, and I wasn't planning to leave my house till closer to 4 or 4:30. And so I had gotten up early in the morning to take care of some other stuff, and I said, well, I got time here. I'll just take a nap. So I went in and laid down, and my wife came in with about a minute to go in the game and said, hey, there's a minute to go in the game, and I was driving. And should I turn it on? I'm like, yes, by all means. Let's see how this thing ends. And she turns it on. The score's still 10-3. And I was like, holy cow, what did I miss? Or thank God I missed that. And, one more lost possession for Iowa at the end, and that was that. I had that thing pegged in maybe the second quarter. They're down 10-0. They drove. They got a 1st and goal at maybe the 10-yard line. They got 2 yards on first down. It's 2nd and goal from the 8, and you're down 10-0. What did they do? They handed it off to the running back and got down to the 4-yard line. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 4. They tried to pass. It was incomplete. They kicked the field goal. I mean, you're down 10-0. It's 2nd and goal from the 8. I mean, if there's ever a time to throw the ball in the end zone, 2nd and goal from the 8. Instead, they ran it. Now it's 3rd and goal at the 4, which I guess you could run it or you could throw it from there if you wanted to go 4 down territory on it, I guess. I don't know. But that to me was just a microcosm of the whole mess. And Iowa's no good. I mean, they kept them in the top 25, but they're not going to be a good team, I don't think. They're certainly going to be Wisconsin. I can't see that. They may not be Nebraska or Minnesota. I don't know. I guess we'll see about that. Michigan, I don't know. You're playing at home. Yeah, Iowa's got a decent enough defense, a pretty good defense, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the disconnect is. Injuries, no running back. I don't know. They just don't move the needle. And again, they're there kind of by osmosis still. If that team's name was Missouri or Oregon State or whoever else, they probably wouldn't be ranked quite as highly as they are. So based on people having watched them play.
I don't think Michigan's defensive line is that good, and I was surprised at how well they did against Iowa, where they are supposed to have 2 NFL tackles. And, I heard about Tristan Wirfs and Larry Jackson. Yeah, both being like possible first-rounders before the season, and they didn't look anything like that. They were abused by Kwity Paye, who has done nothing until this week. I think the Michigan defensive line came into this game with maybe 1.5 sacks, and he had 2.5 by himself. And Aiden Hutchinson was in there as well. And it's just they're not a productive group, Michigan's defensive line. So when they do that against Iowa, it makes me think less of Iowa. And I was expecting more of Iowa this week. I actually picked Iowa to win by like 3 or 4.
I did too.
Because I thought they would be able to run it enough. And I didn't know Nate Stanley was that bad, frankly. He threw some terrible passes. He made Shea Patterson look like the better starting quarterback, which if you do that, man, you're not having a very good day. And Shea Patterson, I think it's just a matter of time before it's Dylan McCaffrey's job. But can McCaffrey ever get healthy? And then could he ever stay healthy? I don't know. I can't answer that one. And Joe Milton's not ready behind him. And as I said before, the longer a quarterback plays under Jim Harbaugh, the worse they get. So I don't know. Do you turn to your true freshman and then hope that he's at his peak right now as a true freshman because he's only going to get worse under Jim Harbaugh? I don't like that offense. I don't like the demeanor of Harbaugh or the reflection of it in his players. And it's a stagnant program right now that needs something that he can't provide.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising that that it has hit this point. They could have taken off. It's like they hit fork in the road, and it appears as though they've leveled off, and this is what they're going to be under him.
And the thing is, they could win out and go to the playoffs. They still control their entire destiny. But what have they shown for you to think that that's actually realistic?